what's up.
We growing, girl.
That's right. And I just want to be there. Ooh. Mm. Ooh. Hello, 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 and welcome everyone. Welcome to Make It Make Sense with Auntie. Of course, I am Auntie. And look at that. Today we have Mr. Showat with us starting off. Y'all know he done been here a lot lately. He been on his job. He been helping Auntie out a lot. He been showing that. We're gonna say that. Um Today, just like normal, we are going to have an exciting show. We got a couple new sponsors that we're going to discuss. We also have, I do have a little topic we're going to discuss today. It ain't going to be nothing real major, but we're going to discuss. We have, I'm pretty sure Showat gonna have some stuff to talk about when Miss K get here. She might have a couple of things to talk about. Um, but before we get started, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Mr. Showat. What you got going on today?
Oh well, I'm always helping you out and everything. We're trying to get some things done. As far as the youth football, Pop Warner, trying to get some started with them and really started trying to get out. You know, shout out to PB Panthers. They're our first going to be our first sponsors that promote this brand that we're trying to do for the Pop Warner, as well as
Right.
getting the started. We still, I'm working with Auntie trying to get, this baby thing going as well. Honda type of babies, anything, baby shower, gender reveal related. Hit us up. We got you.
Hmm.
We definitely got you. With the help of Auntie, we're gonna get it done. We're gonna make it sure it happens.
Right. That's right. That is right. They need to make sure they go ahead and order those shirts. And of course, and with those designs, we do have some new designs coming out. I stay behind the scene a lot too. I do a lot of different designs when it comes to the shirts. But I kind of let him handle when it comes to cartoons. So I am always working on something. If you know me, pretty much if you know me, you know that I like to. I'm very creative, so I like to be doing things and right. And we have our wonderful sponsors, wonderful sponsor, our H&S soap company, Mr. Pedro Romero. He has been wonderful. When it comes to needing anything from him, his response has always been awesome. And so we want to make sure that you reach out to him. And right now, if you reach out today, if you reach out, I can go ahead and get you a free sample. And when I say sample, it is not the little small size trial size bar. It is an actual bar. So, and he put some cute little goodies in there. Then you'll also have some goodies from Make It Make Sense with Auntie and Smooth Transition. So if you want to go ahead and get your order, I'm telling you, the HSO company. So if you have any ailments, skin related, eczema, acne inversa, HS, any of those things that you may be dealing with, may want to look out at this company and see if that can help you out. Also, yes, and this is our new one of our newbies, and this is Auntie. I try to look at. I'm trying to build a brand, and I want my community to know that we're out, we're looking out. So this particular brand is actually one of our local businesses here in Progress Village. The owner of the Chevron, our gas station here, his wife has just opened up a cleaning service, A&R Excellent Cleaning. And if you look at the pricing, I was looking at, it was awesome, as you can see, as a price breakdown. So for her to do the cleaning for a month, it was only $400. So that's $100 her coming in once a day, one day out the week. You know what I'm saying? Making sure it's all tidy and stuff for the apartment. She has a price in mind. listed. If you have any questions, her number is listed. If you need to reach out to me or show out, you can reach out to make it make sense to Auntie. And we'll get hooked up, get you on in. He is looking to expand the business, and we are excited for them. And I'm always promoting businesses in my area. At least I try to. If you're a business, if you're an artist, if you got something going on, if you have a community event, just anything. If it's something that you're doing, Auntie wants to be a part of it.
Yeah, get at
Um,
us. Yeah, we
so
definitely
with
want
that
you to get
being
at
said,
us.
right, right. That's my niece Gracie in the background. Y'all can't really see her, but she want people to know. She be out there making a lot of noise when she know Auntie be around. So we we going that's Gracie. So y'all know. You see, she got quiet when I said her name. She like recognition, and she got her recognition. But so today, I'm gonna kind of like jump right in. We're gonna kind of last week we were discussing the Sonia Massey case, and we discussed, we did talk about the spiritual aspect of what is going on in the world, and when it comes to a lot of spiritual stuff, and this gonna go back to a conversation that I was having with Show Out earlier. We was having a conversation, and we was talking about the past, right? He didn't even know I was gonna talk about, but we was talking about past and letting go of your past. And it just so happened that I'm real in tune with this book by Jack Canfield. If you don't know who that is, Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul. um he is the author of those books. So I am taking, well, not really taking, but I am reading the Success Principles, which is this book here. You know what I'm saying? And this is not no paid advertisement. This is true life form. You can ask Mr. Show Out. This is a book that I live by, like I real deal live by. I try to go through this book. Just sometimes when I'm, trying to get myself together, and it helped a lot more because I am like I just returned back to school. So, in the school, you had the time management and all the stuff going on. So I kind of, pulled my book back and I started, reading through the book. But when we was talking about it and discussing it with the past and a lot of the stuff that people got going on spiritually, a lot of that stuff just, stems from holding on to the past. And it's crazy because a lot of people don't know how to cut ties. So you take that stuff into relationships, you take it into your job, or you take it from your job home. The spirits transfer. And, a lot of people don't know how to cut and break those ties when a lot of people don't pay attention to the things that they take along with them. You have like I say, you build those soul ties, you build those bonds, you have those childhood traumas, you have those past relationship hurts, and a lot of stuff that is, it's not so much as like staying in the past, but you have to visit the past in order to be able to get through the past. If you know what I'm saying, like if it's some hurt, I'm the kind of person, and I'm growing, and what I'm saying. So I can tell you, I'm one of those people. And like I literally was reading through this book, and then it was just like, dang, I be going through those steps all the time. But I still am at a space that I understand that other people don't, what I'm saying, don't realize that they have to go through those. I see you got something to say. What you got to say, Mr. Show? Oh, mosquito, no mosquito.
No,
I say you got
I'm
something to
just
say.
just I understand what you're
How
saying
you doing?
and the thing
Right.
that read and talking about. But at the same time, revisiting the past. Sometimes you got to, I understand revisiting the past. Talking about it over with. But at the same time, dwelling on it and let it take over the whole day or whole mood. You know, that's
Right.
why community talking about it is, to get it out. It's the, always gonna be the key to everything. You have to make sure you communicate with that, but you can't dwell on something you know, that's putting you in a negative space because see, once you're mad, some people get mad and then they're mad with this person and then they take it out on that person and then actually they're taking it out on themselves because then at the end of the day, they're the ones who feeling bad. They're the ones who chest is, in pain. They're the ones who getting the headaches and, getting the frustration, and
Good job
so like
listening. That's right.
they dwell
That's
on it. You
right.
have
That's
to
right.
talk about it and get it over with. Get it out the system.
Right. Right. And that's a little bit like putting y'all in our business, but not really putting y'all in their business. But you know what I'm saying? I believe in being in a relationship that you know what I'm saying, you have to be able to communicate effectively. And you know, I talk about it all the time. Some people don't come into a relationship knowing how to communicate because they've never had to really communicate for whatever reasons in their past. And when I say communication, sometimes, you know, it is that a person thinking just, oh, I'm sitting here and we in the same space and I hear you talking. And but are you really listening to what the person is actually saying? And are you portraying that you actually listening to what a person is going through? If you're supposed to be that support system, if you're supposed to be that listening ear. And I'm gonna just say it because you know, and I know a lot of times I am a person that will bump heads, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking for me, not for anybody else. I will, and I have a habit of um yeah, I'm gonna say it's a habit because it's a habit. But I will cut you off if I feel like what you are saying to me is, you know what I'm saying, if I feel like if the conversation is leading to a space where either there's gonna be deflecting, if the conversation where there's no accountability, then yeah, I'll just stop the conversation. I won't allow that to go on. And people say, you know, I've had people, some people say that's rude. You know, some people say no, you don't want to listen. And a lot of times, you know, you have to be careful what you allow people to put into your spirit. And some people don't understand when I be telling that, like, well, you know, automatically now in 2024, the first thing when somebody tell you, you know, you spiritual, the first thing they think about is what? If somebody come to you and say they spiritual, what's your first thing that you think about? Show out.
I mean, they whole. They in tune with themselves. They
Okay,
understand
but
what's
you
going
know,
on.
okay, so that's like your thing. But you know, like some people, and I know, and that's good. But I forgot who I'm talking to. But you know, you got some people that look at immediately when you say I'm spiritual, they think about incense. They think about chakras, and they automatically and it goes to another space where it's no longer about you know the spirituality. It's about what you using in order to get in. You know what I'm saying? Contact. So now you put in belief systems into other things, idols, and that's where you start. That's where you have a problem at. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just taking it like the grain of salt that it is, taking it for what it is and addressing it, people, you know, they don't do that. And then so then you run into, well, you have a lot of people again that's walking around carrying a lot of baggage because they're unable to, you know, cut ties with a lot of stuff. Um, I have some little note cards and I'm gonna go over them. But you know, like we was reading and in the reading it was talking about have you have to go through the steps. So there are steps that you go through. The 6 steps that you should deal with when discussing or when you know going through addressing your past. So you know what I'm saying. So if you're addressing the past, it's 6 steps, and we're gonna go through those 6 steps. I'm gonna discuss them, and then you'll be able to go. And I'm telling y'all now, today is August the 1st, so there are a lot of changes, a lot of information and stuff that I am giving out for free. A lot of the stuff, and I'm not. You know, it's not so much about me going and start charging people because y'all know how I feel about when it comes to charging people, but because a lot of the information will now be inside of the ebooks, if you listener, y'all better get it while y'all can because then there will be a fee attached to it. And the information, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of the work that I put into it for you so you don't have to go out and do it yourself. Resources, a lot of that stuff put together for organizations. So if I put it out there and I'm offering it to you for free, you better go ahead and grab it because it's not going to be out there long. Um, and I'm just gonna be real because I have like a lot of deadlines. A lot of companies that I'm working with are wanting me to go ahead and start charging, and I just have not done that. So it's been like kind of, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna try. I am getting ready to do some, what is it, the what's my word, um what's it
Seminars.
called? I can't think. I just went blank. The seminars and webinars. So I am getting ready to do some of those. Like he did mention, we are starting to do some work with the youth football leagues and programs. Um, so y'all will be y'all. I sound so country. But you all will get an opportunity. We will be going out and doing some interviews with some of our players in the community, some of our youth, because at the end of the day, Auntie is Auntie, and we all know that it is about the kids. So y'all, we are going to be invested. It's football season. Show I can tell you, I don't know the first thing about football, and I did work for the Raymond James for 11 years, but I don't know nothing about football. If I know whoever I come with, if y'all start cheering, then I know we cheering for that person. That's what I know. But nah, we had a wonderful time this past weekend out at was it Cooper's Park in St. Petersburg with Progress Village Panthers. We had a great time. The game was 28-6. Shout out to our Smoking Joe, who is he is actually our first. He is actually the first, so we're gonna get an interview with him. Um, and by the name Smoking Joe, we're gonna try to get some footage of his football footage because he a little sharp, little something on the little field. Now I know that much. I know to look at him, and I know you can tell when they sharp and they doing their thing. But we went. I think the kids was like a 9 to 12 or some age group. It was something, but we're gonna get out there with them. We're gonna get to the football games. They starting up next week, so we're gonna be out at the football games. Try to get some games in there live, from out there with Auntie. Auntie gonna be more out in the community with the Ask Auntie episode. Um, but yeah, so we are going to get into spiritual, that spiritual thing, and we are going to talk today about releasing some of those spiritual ties, spiritual holes, and real, like for real, you will realize and you will see that breaking ties, especially spiritual ties have a way of listen. Spiritual ties will do something to you. Soul ties, spiritual ties, listen, they'll put a whipping on you. And we need to, as we see that the further that we get into 2024 and the more things that are going on and the more people that are becoming woke. Um, if y'all seen my post last week, I told you some of y'all that say y'all won't need to go back to sleep. Like for real. And some of y'all run around here and it's sad. The saddest part about this is because we are in a place where religion is out of control. And it's sad because I don't really jump on religion. I don't try to discuss religions and all that stuff, but because I don't want to call out any particular religion because that's not for me to do. But I do know that we are in a space where a lot of religious leaders are again, I'm not gonna, I can't say, what I'm saying, but we are in a space where it seems that a lot of our religious leaders are lost. Some of them are lost, and it's sad because a lot of people are falling victim, what I'm saying, to what they're out here saying. A lot of leaders in general, musicians, what I'm saying, you have people that's being put in these places, politicians, and it's a lot going on. And spiritually, we have to understand that we real deal, our children are in trouble. Because if you think about it, a few years ago, um you didn't hear about so much stuff, and that's how we know that the world is like really done flip. Because I could think about it, over the last 20 years there were certain things that was taboo to talk about. Like if you studied, what I'm saying, if you were out here, if you was a weekend, or if you was doing, what I'm saying, practicing, it was not a conversation that was able to be sat around the table and talked about. If it, what I'm saying, and true enough, it's always been communities of those that practice what, their different things, their belief systems. But at the end of the day, it wasn't as widespread as what we got going on. So therefore, like I said last weekend, I remember, and I'm gonna tell this is a story again. It happened to me, not about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I can talk about is me. And so a couple years ago, I used to do home care. So I had a patient. Actually, it was a mother and a son team patients that I had. So I would go out and I would go stay at their house. Some weeks, I would be there 5 days on. Some days I'll be there for a whole week on, just depending on what was going on with the two. And I remember going there because again, what I'm saying, I was working on the military base here. So I was working here off of the base and I would go and take care of these my two clients. And I remember the guy, he was only a couple years older than me. He was literally only I want to say, yeah, he was literally maybe about 2 or 3 years older than me, but he was confined to a wheelchair. He had done been through a whole lot of stuff. He had done went through, and so um, and his mom, okay, so and the mother used to be a nurse, and she, you know what I'm saying, she had done did, worked as a nurse, took care of him her whole life, did whatever, and now she needed somebody to take care of her. So we was there to take care of her. It was a tag team effort. So I worked with, two people that I knew, and we would go in, we would take care of this lady. If you know me, you know you ain't finna talk to me any kind of way. I don't care who you is. I don't care what you paying me. But when we would go into this house, they would always tell me stories about, certain stuff that would be going on. How the lady would be in her room and she'll be telling them that she see cats in the house, and there was no cats in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. But she would see cats in the house, and she would see, different stuff would be going on, and then she would be in the room and she would be making comments about just like real, just outlandish type stuff. And so her son, he would, again, he's now confined to. They had to put a hospital bed inside of the house. So in this house, we would go, you know what I'm saying? So basically, when I came into the house, I cooked, I cleaned, I did all that stuff for him. But I would sit, in there because he was in the living room. He was like, when I know you come here, you need your space. So he had told me that I could have his room. Now, the room that he had was in the back of the house. It was inside this room was just like it was one of those like almost like a therapeutic type chair type bed, hospital type bed for like situation for you to sleep in. Almost like one of those what is it, craftmatic beds that you can lift up and lift down. But it was one of them situations, but it was in the room. And in this room, of course, he had a video game system because he was young. He was in his early 40s at that time, but he had been, dealing with this for a few years. So we was, in the room. So of course I had to go in this room and clean out this room because now they had just basically been using this room as a storage space. But as I proceeded to go in and clean out this room, I would get these heavy, weighted, like feelings and drenches. And again, if you know me, you'll know I don't play with the spiritual realm. I don't play like that. I don't play like that. I don't. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not at all. Absolutely 100% not afraid of it. I don't study. I'm not practicing no candles. I ain't doing all that crazy stuff. But when it comes to be at my spirituality, I'm very in tune with my spiritual realm. So I'm in this room and I'm literally in this room and now I'm cleaning this room and I started finding like little artifacts. So first I started finding little stones in the room, and it was stones like all across the room. Then it was I found uh what is it, pentagram. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the same person because me and him, we had built this relationship, and the mama was still acting crazy. She would just be yelling out certain stuff. She started making like real racist comments. She would just do like crazy stuff. And this man, you could tell he was so convicted on stuff that he had, what I'm saying, that was going on, and he would just like try to apologize for his mama. So finally, me and him sat down and we had this long conversation. And when we had this conversation, and I told him, I was like, listen, I know, I don't know you. I had just had him for a few months. It was during COVID time, right before COVID time. So, it wasn't a lot of out and about. But me and this man had a conversation, and he literally told me that when he was going through the childhood trauma and the stuff that was going on in his life, he had been attacked by, what I'm saying, he was, Caucasian man. He had been attacked by some African Americans when he was younger, based off of who he was. He felt that it was a racist attack on him, but of course, he built up some, resentments towards people. He started hanging out with the wrong type of people, but in doing so, he began to lose himself. So he tried to find himself in religion. And you notice I said religions, and I put an S on the end of that because this man had went and he had began to open like so many religions in his home. And in this room, by the time I finished cleaning this room, it was probably maybe, I know for a fact, at least 40 different types of religions this man had practiced in that room. and they could not understand why it was so much hell and why they was going through so much stuff that was in there. And it opened my mind because I think about, you have people every day they practice rituals. And when I say practice rituals, people gonna say, "Oh, I don't believe in that. I don't do that." Baby, yes you do. If you wake up in the morning and like I told y'all before, if you wake up in the morning and you go light that sage, talking about you cleansing your house, you just started practicing the ritual. You just opened that up. And
Yep.
whether you realize it or not, I don't care what they tell you. They come to you, they say a lot of stuff, be conspiracy theories and stuff. It's a reason why people that practice certain things was not out amongst the people, because they was able to do some stuff that everybody wasn't supposed to be able to do. That's why it was a problem. But now that y'all done figured out, oh, I can go write a book, or so and so could go write a book, and I'm gonna go to that book, and I'm gonna pick this page, and I'm gonna go try that book, and I'm gonna go. And I know I'm speaking because I went and studied different religious books, not religions. Don't get that twisted. I wasn't out there practicing, but I went and studied religion. I studied it when I was in college. I went and studied it because I wanted to know what was the basis on each religion and why. And me personally, I tell people all the time, religion is just something for people to do what they want to. That's what religion is. Because if I have a religion and then you come to over here with me and I tell you something and then you disagree with some of what I said, but you don't agree with all of what I said, now you upset with me. So you finna go open up your own and you finna start your own, but you only gonna teach them what you want them to know. And anything that's not taught at your church is wrong. Yeah, you might add some of that stuff from the other person, but it's wrong. That's why I don't do religion. That's why I don't study religion. I don't bit nobody for studying religion, because as long as you have a belief system, that's you. Um, but like I said, so we're gonna go back to the stuff, but again, you know what I'm saying, and we don't want to get away from the spiritual attacks. But the reason why I am telling y'all this is because for the last week, I don't care where I have been at. I don't care where you know what I'm saying. I have run into people, being called by people on the phone, and everything has been about spirituality. No matter where I go, somehow the conversation leads to spirituality. So I know that we are under a spiritual attack. I know it's deeper than what a lot of people are saying, and how I know that it's spiritual because once you leave the physical, it's spiritual. When we start hitting emotions and intelligence, that's spiritual. That's no longer in the presence of a body. You know what I'm saying? That's not
Yep.
what that is. And so we fight in a spiritual battle because once you get, and especially when you get to the point of knowledge and you don't understand, or you do understand, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you do or you don't, you cannot go out here unequipped. We cannot send our children unequipped out here in this world, regardless of how we want to look at it and make it little sense. And a lot of parents, again, back to the parents, y'all get mad, y'all, you know what I'm saying? If you're listening, you have to, like, you real deal, pray over your children. And when I say pray over your children, I mean Pray. Pray. And the reason why I spelled
PRA.
it out to you because right, Pray. And the reason why I'm saying that to you because we have a lot of parents that pray Prey they children. We have a lot of parents that are out here that are not, you know what I'm saying, they are not uplifting that child at all. If anything, they are attacking that child, bashing that child, pouring down into that child, and then they are unleashing that child into the world. And now we are unleashing more, you know what I'm saying? You are unleashing negativity and anger and fear. All of those things are being brought out and spoke, you know what I'm saying, in our children. And then we wonder why our children are getting
Everything.
locked up. Our children don't know no better. Our children can't stand on their own 2 feet. Why our children feel like they should be entitled. Why they don't feel like they should have to work. Why everything should be handed to them. Because we made it well right now and they don't know how to fight physically. We hear the news every day that somebody done used the weapon and done did something, so you can't live to tell the fight about tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at in the news where parents are, you know what I'm saying, taking their children's lives and children are taking their parents' lives. And of course, it's written in the Bible. And yes, I did read the Bible. I did. And I do believe, some stuff in the Bible. Don't come on my page telling me about, oh, I'm going to hell. Maybe I am. And then again, maybe I ain't. That's not for you to decide. But I know how I feel. I know what's in my heart. And if I'm wrong, I tell God to take anything that's not of Him away from me. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to uphold no mess, but I am going to speak facts. And I do feel like a lot of people be lying on God. So, but we're going to leave that alone again because we're not finna go into religion. But I do want y'all to understand, even without going into religion, spirituality is real. You can sit around here all day long talking about who you don't believe in and who you believe in. I told them the other day, at the end of the day, and of course, I'm auntie, and you have to make it make sense. My
Make it
grandmother,
make
Mamie, right, Mamie Johnson. Listen, my grandmama taught me as a child. You can live every day you want to, and like literally, you can live every day and tell people, you know what I'm saying? God is not real. God is not real. You can live every day, and people can say, "Oh, God is real." But yeah, I need somebody to answer me. Which one you want to take a chance with? Living your life telling people God is real and then dying and finding out that he don't exist, or living your life or do you want to live your life telling people that God don't exist and then you die and find out that he do? Which one you want to go through? I'm gonna take my chances with living it like he exists, and then finding out that he don't, then living my life like he don't exist, and then finding like he do. I'm just saying. So yeah,
man, you ain't
y'all can go and play with what you want to.
man, you going straight to hell. And the second one. Time to get
No,
nine.
but but see, you don't have, you can't have, you don't have a heaven or a hell to put nobody in. You can't say where they going because you don't know what they got going on with God. I'm gonna say it again. I'd rather live my life believing that there is God and dying and finding out he don't exist than to live my life living like he don't exist and to die and find out that he do. I'm just saying, make it make sense. That's it. That's all. That's all. And when it comes to that spiritual warfare, a lot of y'all walk around here unequipped. And I'm telling you, your ass is gonna be in trouble. You already see what we up against. They taking spirituality and they bringing it into. Because I was reading an article earlier, and it is gonna go back to Sonya Massey. I was looking at the article, and now they're talking about the 911 call that the mama made the day before, telling them that her child had mental health issues going on, telling them that she was dealing with the health issues, and for them to send an officer that was not racist or that was not going to agitate the situation. Okay, so if that happened, one or two things happen. So you called them the day before. You told them that your daughter was already dealing with a mental health issue. So when they showed up on the scene, what was the first thing they did? Okay, so we gonna just not deal with the mental health issues because we do see that there has been an issue as well in our good old United States. We have seen multiple mental health people call with dealing with mental health issues and losing their life. So therefore, is there a new training, some other training that need to be done? Because apparently, if you are responding to a mental health issue, that person is not going to be coherent. Some of them. And if you knew that you was responding, and my thing is, if they knew they was responding to her address and they knew that it had been a mental health issue the day before, why didn't they send out mental health services?
Right. They ain't trying to mom because
And I am
they already
speaking
know.
right, and I'm speaking from a mental health standpoint. I'm speaking for my people, like for real, for real. We deal with mental. If people deal with it every day, whether you want to admit you deal with it or not, depression, anxiety, fear. Whether you deal with, a lot of those different things, disassociated anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I understand all y'all. I do, and I'm apologetic because more people don't understand you all and what you are going through. We see it so much, and we blame a lot of people for their mental health issues, and we can't blame them. because they didn't choose to be that way.
No,
But again, and that's something else that's going on that they're dealing with. And again, you have to think about it. If a person is dealing with that, that's not physical. That's mental, emotional, spiritual. Y'all following me? So what if the reason why we can't deal with a lot of these people that's dealing with a lot of these issues because their minds and they're communicating on another level? And maybe if we was able to understand that other level, and maybe if it hadn't been influenced by big brother farmers, and I talked about it last week how they're easing in a lot of the stuff that we want, like the legal marijuana, and then you turn it around and you seeing in certain places that them introducing legal marijuana introduce mental episodes with certain people because it's easy, you go out, you get you something to smoke, you do that. Everybody, you smoke, but everybody is not meant to smoke, and certain stuff is not meant to be smoked by certain people, especially if they are taking certain medications. And when I say certain things don't need to be smoked, medicinal stuff that they've went and added to. If it ain't come out the ground, if it ain't come up out the soil, if it's been added to, it got an additive in it. If it's medicinal, if it's
yep.
hybrid, if it's all this fancy stuff that they got going on, what y'all think they trying to control? What they trying to control? What is being controlled? They told you they're doing it with food. They told you they're doing it with all this stuff. They told you they're doing it in the medication. What else? So do we not see the spiritual warfare that's about to take place with everybody that's going around? Do we not see that you are being attacked spiritually? You know what I'm saying? When stuff is going on, and then you have children walking around here, and you expect children to be, what I'm saying, stand up A1 kids when they don't know how to communicate in the house because we got baggage that has absolutely nothing to do with us. We have attachments that has absolutely nothing to do with us because you chose to go sleep with whoever. And now you come home and you stressed out, work, you don't even know why you going through what you going through. Literally was okay, perfectly fine. Now you done went out here and messed with so and so, or you done went and had lunch with so and so. Then you leave lunch with so and so. Now when you get in your car, you trying to figure out why all of a sudden you tired and don't want to go out and do the exciting shit that you had going on no more. You know why that is? Cause your ass just picked up a soul tie. Your ass just picked up a spiritual tie. Now you got some baggage that's coming along with you because somebody dumped on you and you don't even know how to dump yourself. So now you done just had somebody dump on you on top of what you was already dealing with. That's why everybody is not supposed to be able. And I'm gonna say, I get it, I get it. So I could tell you, as a counselor, I get it because I have a lot of people that pour out into me. You know what I'm saying? My phone rings. I'm texting. People calling me, knocking on the door. That's a everyday occurrence with Auntie. I don't just be saying that it's not just a podcast that I get on here. That's why you probably won't look and find too many episodes of a podcast where I just went and sat down and did a podcast because my life is an everyday life. I have, and I deal with a lot of spiritual. So I could say I could be literally walk around, and I'll be walking, and people can just walk by me, and literally whatever they got going on, he'll be looking at me like, "Come on here," and I can't come with him because I got to go over there and address what's being dealt with over in that issue. And it happened yesterday. There's a lady that it's a lady from here. Not gonna call her name out because people done deemed her. They done called her all types of names and they done said all things about her. But sometimes people just need you to sit there and listen. But I don't need y'all, and I'm just gonna be honest. It may hurt their feeling, for real. It do, and that's why I'm gonna go through these steps, and I want y'all to make sure y'all go to my page so that y'all can get a copy of these steps. But I'm telling y'all, learn how to be okay with telling a person, I love you, but I can't take on what you got going on right now. And true enough, some people gonna look at you and feel like, oh, you being selfish, you being whatever. But and I understand that. But if that person love you, or if that person is somebody that you care about, that person should be able to understand. You know what I'm saying? I can't take on that. So you actually going to that person wouldn't be beneficial to you or them anyway. And I have a friend of mine, I got a couple of them. I got a sister too. I ain't gonna call her name out, but I have a couple people. She don't mind telling you, absolutely not. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand what you got going on, but I can't be that for you right now. You know, I hope you don't take that no harsh way. And I never do. I respect that because people have their own issues and people have stuff they got going on. And sometimes the plate is too full for them to be able to take on what you got going on. And I respect the person more if you tell me that ahead of time, then sit there and let me start expressing what I got going on. Sitting there, let me talk to you when you don't care. You not trying to listen to me. You don't want to communicate. Like, don't pretend like you invested because then if I need you and I'm coming to you, I'm dependent on you. You know what I'm saying? So, and we need to do that more because that's another way people take on baggage because you're not in tune to what that person is telling you, but you're allowing them to just tell you stuff. You allowing these people to just come in and dump all this stuff on you. You know what I'm saying? You're not listening, but you're allowing it to enter into your spirit because
Yep.
you're listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're not listening, but you listening. You have listening, but you hearing it. And so now it's being dropped off in your spirit, again, spiritual. Now it's being dropped off in your spirit. Now you walk around again with that baggage and you don't understand why do you have baggage? Why do you feel the way that you feel? Why am I going through this? Because we have been attached, you know what I'm saying, with a spiritual tie. So I am going to go in the um quickly because I see I ain't realize we were gonna talk about that this much that quick. Time flying today. But
But it ties,
if you get the huh?
it ties into each other. But now
You
you're
say
able
what
to
now?
tell. I say it ties into each other. Now you're able to tell us the 16.
Right. And again, if you're able to get this book, is what is the name of it? I just said it. The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. And I'm telling you, like you real deal, but it lists them. And then this one is the principle 29 in that book is complete the past to embrace the future. And it tells you the reality is that anger, resentment, and desire for revenge can waste valuable energy that could be directed toward positive, goal directed action. Being negative, angry, and unforgiving about a past hurt only ensures that you attract more of the same into your life. So if you walk around here with that negative energy and pulling all that stuff, that's what you're gonna continue to attract. You're gonna continue to have that. You're gonna see you go through that same issue. You're gonna see you going through whatever that situation is. If you refuse to let that go, you're gonna keep having them same situations come about. You're gonna keep entertaining that same energy. So that's another reason why you have to be able to learn how to move and learn what is for you and what is against you. You have to learn how to open up your mouth and tell people when something is bothering them. Now we're gonna go through the 6 steps, and it's called a total truth process. And so it tells you that when you're discussing with somebody, when you're going through it with an issue or something that you're going to them, it's okay to go through those steps. You might not go through them in order, but all of these things need to be addressed in releasing somebody from the past or releasing a situation from the past. So it says with anger and resentment. So you allowed to use your anger and resentment. You allowed to yeah, you know what I'm saying, blurt that out. You allowed to address that. You are allowed to say, and you can be angry about it. You can yell, you can cuss. It's not to be physical. You know what I'm saying? But you allowed to do that. Um, the hurt. Explain to them how they hurt you, why they hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Why the situation hurt you. Don't be afraid to tell a person why something bothers you, why it made you feel the way that it did. Even if it caused you a type of fear. Why did it make you fearful? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why was that going on? Also remember that remorse, regret, and accountability. So make sure that you address those things in those steps that you will take accountability. You tell the person why you don't feel accountability was met when it came to that situation. And even and during this time, is not for the other person to be, this is not a time for them to be deflecting. It's a situation where both of you all to get it out to address those issues. And then the last one is love, compassion, forgiveness, and appreciation. Once you have, you know, expressed your feelings, Once you have addressed the issues, the past, whatever that issue is, let it go. Nobody told you to forget, but seriously, let it go. What you holding on to it for if you let it go? If you don't forgive a person for doing it, what you still mentioning it for? But if a person is somebody that's gonna hurt you, if a person that's gonna do something to you, that person should also be able to accept when you come to them. If they truly care about your feelings, they should be able to accept when you come to them and when you tell them how you feel.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
I just want y'all to, and mindfulness is one of my I'm telling y'all gonna have to just check out the ebooks. Mindfulness, be mindful. You have to always be mindful of the situations and that you putting yourself in, the situations that are around you. You just have to be mindful and be in a spiritual battle, spiritual warfare. You have to make sure that you ready. You ready. And as we just learned, you cannot be spiritually ready. You can't be physically ready if you spiritually tired.
Right.
You can't be physically ready if you're spiritually tired. You can't be spiritually ready if you always tired. If you around here clutching on to baggage and grabbing hold of baggage, if you on, keeping on the stuff, I guarantee you, what I'm saying, I know ain't nobody gonna really, too many people ain't gonna just say, yeah, that's me. But if you really literally sit back, think about your situations that you've been in, think about what you got going on, and just think about it. How much of the stuff that you dealing with has a relation to something that you've done dealt with? How much of the issues that you are currently dealing with in your life, no matter what it is, whether it's your job, no matter whether it's your relationship, no matter what you got going on, how many right now can honestly say, look back and say, I went through this before? That's redundant. So that means that it happened before. This how it was the last time. You know why that is? Because you don't know how to date. You can't date somebody healed because y'all gonna bump heads. And that's just being honest. A healed person and an unhealed person being together, and if the unhealed person ain't trying to heal, that's gonna be confliction. That's gonna be so back. That's gonna be insane. Because an unhealed person is never gonna understand a healed person, and a healed person is gonna continue to get on the unhealed person until they do what? Either change or leave.
You got to be here.
That's
So you
it.
got to be. So you got to know that you're a healed
Also,
person. Feel that you're a
right,
healed person.
and then that right, and that also goes back to relationships. If you in a relationship and you dealing with somebody, and that person is unhealed, how can you pour into somebody? How can they pour into you? What are they pouring into you? Not fuck. How can they? What are they pouring into you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I'm just saying, my listeners, I know the data show was a little bit different than what y'all do, but I'm telling y'all that's making make sense for Auntie. So you don't know how my show gonna go from one day to the next Thursday. If it's something that I need to address, I'm gonna address it. I'm going, what I'm saying? If that's what needs to be done, then that's what's gonna be done. My show, like I say, it changes. It definitely does. Is make it make sense for Auntie, and that's something that need to be made sense. How can you pour into your children if you are spiritually broken? What are you pouring into your children? What is you? What is you? See, that country just want to come out. What are you pouring into your partner, your spouse? If you angry, upset, vengeful, holding on to your past, whatever you got, if you know what I'm saying, whether that's laziness, whether it's, what I'm saying, domestic violence, whatever it is, the situation that you're in, what I'm saying, whatever that is, narcissistic behaviors, or, what I'm saying, horistic behaviors, all of that. If a person, if you, okay, so if I got a cup, as do this analogy, I probably should have did it on camera and actually went and picked up a cup. But if I put two cups on the table, and if I sit both of them cups on the table and I take two pictures, And when I take those two pictures, I put dirt in one of the pictures of the water, and I put water in the other picture. And if I start pouring, I'm gonna pour each one of them glasses. I'm gonna pour into the. Both of them got water in it, but which one of them you gonna drink? Which one you gonna choose to drink? The one that don't
Of course,
have dirt in it, right? Right. But then you got somebody that's gonna say, or that's real thirsty, or maybe somebody that just, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Oh, I could just drink the water. The dirt gonna stay at the bottom. It ain't gonna affect me. It ain't gonna hurt me. You hear that all the time. You hear people say it all the time. They're gonna drink the water still that has that dirt in them because it's still the water, whether they need it or whether they just don't care. Either way, they gonna drink it. If I take that same cup of water, if I have a cup of water with dirt in it, and if I got a cup, you know what I'm saying, the regular water, if I sit them two cups of water on the counter as a parent, if I tell my child, you better not touch that glass of water over there, which one that child gonna drink? Do they have an option?
it's
They don't
good.
have an option, but they're being poured into, and they still got to drink what's in there. That's all.
Uh,
It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's make it make sense. Like real junk. You got to pay attention to what you got going on. If your mind is not spiritually fed, and you got to be careful what you put into your children, and then you wonder why you got hell in your house, why your children outside acting out, and it ain't even so much as your children. You have to be you have to be spiritually ready to be able to pour into your own surrounding, those around you, your family, those that you care about. Like me, I pray for everybody. I do, because I really did want to see everybody in the world do great. Of course, in my BDM family, my blood don't make you family. I always pray for everybody. I pray for healing for the whole world. I tell you, I want y'all to have blessed days like I real deal do, because that one prayer might be the only prayer that somebody got, but that's pouring into them. And at least we know a little bit of good is being poured into them. But you have to remember what you are pouring into people, into the world, whether it's your children, what you are pouring into them. Are you pouring them that they're gonna be able to fight spiritually? Or they can go out there and fight and protect themselves? No. So I just need my listeners, I need y'all to just pay attention to what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? I can't call nobody out for what they got going on because we all make mistakes, we all do stuff. But I do know that we we have the power to cut ties. We have the power to let go of stuff. And if you can control that, you can't control nobody else, but you can control what you got going on. So if you cut those ties and start releasing a lot of that hurt, a lot of that resentment, a lot of that stuff you got going on, you can move forward in your life. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Every day people ask me why I smile so much. Um, like I'm always smiling. People tell me to stop smiling at them all the time, regardless of what I be going through. And I do. And I continue to smile. Look, right. I continue to smile every day. I wake up. I live with health issues, as y'all know. Some illnesses are way worse than others. Some of my days are completely worse than others. Um, and that's so that shout out to my HS warriors, my acne and Versa warriors that's out there. Shout out to y'all that are living with this ailment. You know, the shout out to all y'all that fight this fight every single day, especially to Pedro Romero at the HS Soap Company, because we know what the fight is like. I'm trying to get us a guest on here to actually live through it. He's actually had some surgical procedures because of it, so we're trying to get him on the show to talk more about living with HS, because like I said, Auntie does meet a lot of people that are dealing with issues, and because I am so open about it. But I want y'all to all go out and think about what you got going on. If you need to just write it down, write some stuff that's been bothering you. Um, we'll get into next. Well, no, you got to go join our page. Go get on my page. I ain't telling nothing next week. Get on my page. Go to the Make It Make Sense with Auntie page. You go check it out, Auntie Mims. And if you go ahead and check it out, then I'll send you over the list, the ebooks and stuff. Get y'all over to y'all so y'all know what steps to look for, how to pour into your children, how to pour into your partner. I am getting ready to get those workshops going. That's what it is. I do have one for the men. I do have one for the women. And I have some for the kids. I am gonna get these workshops out of here pouring into your men, coming to the lemonade stand. So we are down to our last 5 minutes. So we do want to go ahead and thank Mr. Pedro Romero at the HS Soap Company for all that he does for us. Make sure y'all go and check him out. I know he does have like a special going on at $39.99. You get like 5 different bars of soap. Trust me, you're gonna fall in love with. I know at least one of them because I done had 3 of them and I love them all. I have like majority of my household is rocking HS Soap Company. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all go and check him out. He does have the summer a summer special going on, $39.99, and trust me, it is worth it. The Super Mystery Box, it is definitely worth it. It comes and it also has like a special gift, another free gift in there with the soaps. So y'all want to check him out. I'm telling you, if you spend all that money on all them different products that you're going to buy, and knocking nobody products, but you want to do that. And then if you need your house clean, business clean, y'all want to go ahead and reach out to AR Excellent Cleaning. The number is listed. Y'all want to go ahead and reach out. That's in Tampa, Brandon, Riverview areas. Y'all call the number. Go ahead. Let Miss A know that Auntie sent you. And do, of course, if you live in the Progress Village area, y'all go out there and make sure y'all check out, you know what I'm saying, the business, our local businesses in our community. I'm gonna try to go out and reach out more to different communities in the business and bring them to y'all, so y'all know that what we got going on in the city. Um, yeah, so you know what I'm saying. I want to thank everybody for that. Yeah, make sure y'all get y'all blood don't make you family t-shirts today. Always. Yes, make sure y'all get y'all shirts. We got a new designs coming out. Right, right, right. Make sure
Next
y'all
show,
order y'all shirts today. Go ahead. Huh?
next week we're gonna have that song playing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're gonna have a new song. We got new music and stuff coming. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And if you would like to make a donation right now, you can go ahead. Auntie 79, and that's at the Cash Out money sign AUNTI 79. I appreciate and I thank everybody for their donations. I appreciate all my sponsors.
Well, we appreciate everybody. I don't know what happened to Auntie, but y'all check us out next week, 5 p.m. Y'all stay tuned for the next show with Zodem and everything. Be back. Yeah, you know how we do. That's the weather. That weather.